People ask me all the time how to get hypnotized, but the real answer is, how do you de-hypnotize yourself? What if you could have anything you want? Health, wealth, security, and significance. The third step towards creating riches, as outlined in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, is autosuggestion, which is self-hypnosis. Many people want to learn self-hypnosis to change a habit or address health concerns like anxiety. Others recognize its value in achieving peak performance, whether in sports like golf or in academic pursuits. Hill promises something, though, that seems unattainable for most: riches and wealth. How can autosuggestion make you rich? According to Hill, the only thing standing between us and financial security is our own limiting beliefs. In fact, in almost any area of life, limiting beliefs are the real culprit. In relationships, people seem to limit themselves to thinking they only deserve someone who can put up with me. Limiting beliefs are also why people perpetuate their own internal misery by telling themselves, this is as good as it gets, or this is all that the not-haves are entitled to. These beliefs affect our performance in almost every way. Before 1954, running a 4-minute mile was considered impossible. No one had achieved it. It was assumed to be beyond the limits of the human body. Then on May 6, 1954, Roger Bannister ran the mile in 3 minutes, 59 seconds, 0.4 on the track at Oxford University. The amazing thing isn't just that Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier, but that ever since then, over 1,400 other athletes have done the exact same thing. Just 2 months after Bannister, John Landy also completed the mile in under 4 minutes. What changed before and after May 6, 1954? Belief. Once Bannister disproved the limiting belief, thousands of athletes believed it was possible. What we think we can do, we can do. What limiting beliefs do you have about money? Do you say things like, another day, another dollar, or people in my profession don't create wealth? Do you believe that financial prosperity is for somebody else? Are you over 50 and think it's too late to save much for retirement? Hill's entire book is devoted to changing the belief that riches aren't for the average person. Central to his book is the idea that autosuggestion, as taught by Emil Coué, can disrupt our limiting beliefs about money and open a new mindset that creates wealth. Hill wrote, "Nature has so built man that he has absolute control over the material which reaches his subconscious mind through his 5 senses. However, this is not meant to be construed as a statement that man always exercises that control. In the great majority of instances, he does not exercise it, which explains why so many people go through life in poverty." Hill means that most people choose to go through life adhering to the limits they set for themselves. In the 4th chapter of Hill's book, titled Autosuggestion, Hill writes, "When visualizing the money you intend to accumulate with closed eyes, see yourself rendering the service or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is important." Why does Hill tell us to visualize? It's a strategy for overcoming limiting beliefs. If I see myself running a 4-minute mile, I can believe I can do it. If I see myself succeeding in a creative enterprise, I will succeed. If I see myself disciplined with money, lucky with money, or wise with money, that's what I'll become. This is how riches are created. James Allen was a writer who influenced Napoleon Hill, and he said, "You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you." What the mind attends to, the attention we pay to these thoughts, the mind considers. And what the mind considers, it eventually acts upon. This axiom is true for anything. You attended to the idea that you wanted to watch this video, and you believed that the chair you're sitting in would hold you up. So you sat in it. You didn't look underneath to check for screws. You didn't weigh yourself first and then Google the weight rating for the chair. You just acted on it because you believed it. The problem is most of us believe things that aren't true. Social media has shown us that many people we thought were smart actually hold some pretty wacky beliefs, some of them bizarre. On my Facebook feed, I have over 4,000 friends, including people I know from business, people I went to school with, family members, readers of my books, friends of my adult children. Many seem to have an insatiable desire to share the bizarre things they believe. They believe in obviously untrue conspiracies or theories. They reject science. They passionately post dire warnings that are nothing more than chain letters. What I've learned is that even the smartest among us can believe things that aren't true. To benefit from autosuggestion or any form of self-hypnosis, we must counter our limiting beliefs, which are actually misbeliefs. Many of the problems we have today result from acting on these false beliefs. If you believe the world is flat, for example, you'll avoid taking a boat too far lest you fall off the edge. If you believe immunizations are worse than the illnesses they prevent, you'll risk illness. If you believe we're all just prisoners of life controlled by the government, you'll act without significance or autonomy. If you believe you can't quit smoking, you'll smoke. If you believe you hurt, you'll have pain. If your mind believes you'll struggle financially, you will struggle financially. It's really that simple. We act on what we believe. The key to changing your life, whether it's your health, wealth, or habits, is to dehypnotize yourself as much as it is to hypnotize yourself. We must dehypnotize ourselves, give up old ideas, and adapt to new ones to experience any breakthrough. The problem is that none of us can effortlessly identify our misbeliefs. It's much easier to see the problems in others than in ourselves. When I read posts on Facebook, I can easily tell what's fake news and what isn't. I can see the misbeliefs my friends have about their own predicaments. Our conundrum is that we believe our misbeliefs to be true. We don't notice our own stinking thinking. We can't see a cognitive error as a cognitive error. Fortunately, self-hypnosis can help us to identify these things. In my work as a therapist, I've uncovered what I call the depressing triad. Many of my clients with significant problems share these traits. The depressing triad is a progression of misbelief that begins with devaluing a situation. Devaluing is the process of creating misbeliefs. Sometimes these misbeliefs arise because we can only see one side of the picture or one part of the problem. Sometimes we devalue adverse situations because we take the feelings and beliefs from our previous traumas and superimpose those onto new situations, erroneously thinking that the coping skill that worked then will always be the right tool for future difficulties. I see this in relationships all the time. Sometimes other people literally hypnotize us into believing cognitive errors. An abusive parent, a manipulative teacher, or even society as a large can give us negative hypnotic messages. A popular sales tactic is to sell with fear. The easiest example is the holiday sale. If you don't get it now, you'll miss out. After all, these prices will never be duplicated. It's selling with FOMO, fear of missing out. Other ads sell with FOMO too. They make us believe that without what they're selling, our lives will be incomplete. Without a diamond, we aren't truly showing lasting love. Beauty products play on our insecurities, asking, do you want to look as good as you feel? Other ads play on relationship fears. By buying this product, people will be attracted to you. You won't smell bad in the private parts anymore. And of course, if you don't buy the financial product, you'll die broke. When we get scared through enough scarcity or by not fitting in or looking sexy or failing, we believe these misbeliefs. The first side of the triad shows the situation devalued. The second side shows the progression that follows devaluing oneself. And the third side occurs when we've devalued both an immediate situation and ourself. We devalue the future. This is what makes failure the status quo. This is what creates depression and hopelessness. This is what brings about a sense of being stuck and lacking significance in life. Let me give you an example. I drink a lot of tea. Every morning I start out with some green tea or some white tea. If tomorrow I wake up and find I forgot to buy more tea, I might devalue the situation by saying to myself, oh no, I'm out of tea. This is horrible. I can't start my day without tea. Of course, in the grand scheme of life, it's not horrible. It might be irritating. It's not horrible. I've also told myself another lie, the lie that I can't start my day without tea. I might not want to, but it's happening, and I'll still make it to my office even if I don't have any tea. As I sit at the kitchen counter eating my morning eggs with only a cup of water, the mind traps of devaluing kick in, and I start to devalue myself. I say things like, you're never organized, Richard. You always fail to plan ahead. You can't do anything right. Of course, neither of those things are true. I'm pretty organized. I plan out a lot of things. I'm also a pretty good guy, but this is a progression of misbelief. When I devalue the situation, it triggers devaluing the self. The depressing triad kicks in full force when I devalue the future. I might begin to wonder, what if this happens again? What if it gets worse? And before long, I'm predicting that not only will I have to drink water instead of tea, but my office assistant will quit, my bank accounts will be hacked, my car won't start, my entire day will be ruined. This is the full expression of the depressing triad. Devaluing the situation leads to devaluing the self, to devaluing the future. This triad is a collection of cognitive errors. The truth is, I forgot to buy tea, that's it. No one died, nothing was lost, it's inconvenient. I can solve it by going to the store or by ordering a few cases on Amazon. I have a choice to think, hey, it's a little inconvenient, but I'll get through the day just fine, or I can let the depressing triad take over my mind and let the day go sideways. At the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the first triad was in full force. Many devalued the situation, saying to themselves, I can't handle being stuck at home. We devalued ourselves, telling ourselves, I'm not resourceful enough to get what I need during this shortage. We devalued the future, wondering, what if I run out of money, can't find another job? The mind trap caught almost everyone, and as a result, too many people bought into cognitive errors which trapped them in anxiety and depression. But here's the good news. Even if you've trapped yourself in the depressing triad, self-hypnosis can create a pathway out of those misbeliefs. This is why Hill calls autosuggestion the first path towards riches. Autosuggestion, especially when combined with an accountability partner, will dehypnotize you. It'll allow you to exchange your cognitive errors for cognitive accuracies. We often get caught up in our own stinking thinking or mind traps because we think we're bad people or we're losers. The truth is, we get trapped in our own minds because it's created by a state of self-hypnosis with cognitive errors. The same way we fell into the mind trap is the same way we can escape it, by using self-hypnosis. When I teach my clients autosuggestion, I always start with two rules. First, there are no bad people, only bad thinking. And second, the problem is not what we think, but how we think. We don't make cognitive errors because we're bad people or because we have bad ideas. They're human errors. They affect every person on the planet. We just need to dehypnotize ourselves from these errors. The journey from limiting beliefs to riches begins with transforming our mindset through self-hypnosis. Napoleon Hill's principles give us a powerful blueprint for reprogramming our subconscious and dismantling the barriers that prevent us from achieving our fullest potential. This applies both when it comes to money and really when it comes to anything else. Managing anxiety, dealing with difficulties, relationships, or even our own sense of personal fulfillment. Remember, the key isn't just believing that change is possible, but in actively reshaping our thoughts to align with the abundance and possibilities that await us. Through our conscious effort and self-awareness, we can transcend our limiting beliefs and create a future that is aligned with health and wealth and happiness and personal fulfillment. If you like this video, it's based on the third chapter in my book, The 7 Most Effective Methods of Self-Hypnosis. You can find it on Amazon. If you like this video, please like it, share it with a friend, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything else I put out. Thanks for watching.